going on, guys? This is Jarrell from Powell Music. Using a headset here for the audio, so hopefully it sounds okay. But I want to do a rundown of some of the guitars that I have and just the updates on them to see how they sound and whatnot. Purchased a few goodies here. So this might be a part 1/part 2 video, but anyway. So this is the first thing that I got. I tried this on a band session / rehearsal, more of a jam session, but kind of making some new music. But this is a Squire Contemporary Starcaster. So it's got that Starcaster huge headstock here. But this is the first guitar that I've owned that has active pickups. So the cool thing about this guitar is that it has active pickups. So you're going to get some clarity, some really bright clarity, and then you have a little more control when you're engaging distortion and overdrive. You can do the chug stuff really well, just like EMGs, but sounds really good. It is it's obviously there's no F holes, but it is hollow on the sides, so you can get a hollow. You are getting a hollow type sound, but you don't have to worry about feedback through a PA or a microphone or anything like that, because there's no F holes. So that's kind of cool. I really dig the knobs, old school knobs here. I like how the switch is on the end there. And this is a really comfortable guitar. I got it for like $280. And usually these run for like $450, I want to say. I don't think they make these anymore. I haven't seen new versions of these. My favorite part of this guitar is really the neck. This neck is really thin. So you can do some really hardcore riffs and stuff pretty easily, even around the 12th fret. The neck is pretty thin, which I think is really neat. So you can really get up there and get really comfortable with this guitar. The one thing I did change out were the tuners. All Squire tuners are garbage, in my opinion. So you have to swap them out. So I put some Hipshot tuners on them, and it stays in tune. And yeah, it's a really nice guitar. The saddles are really low on it, but the intonation is solid. I haven't really ran into any issues. So if you're curious about a guitar, getting a guitar that's very not the normal, trying something different, having something different versus everybody else has a Les Paul or a Strat or a Tele, check these out. Check these out if you come across one. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I'm going to return it. I think I'm going to keep that one. This is the Old Faithful. This is the one that I've used gigging. I've gigged with this one the most. This is originally a Mitchell MS450. Mitchell is usually known for their shitty acoustic guitars. So I wouldn't recommend anyone to buy a Mitchell acoustic, in my opinion. But some of their electrics, they kind of tapped into something different. Now, I did make modifications to this guitar. The pickups I took out. The bridge pickup, the original bridge pickup for the Mitchell, is actually quite good. But the neck pickup was terrible, muddy, just really, really bad. But regardless, I took the pickups out. So this is a Gibson Classic 57 Plus. It's actually on sale at a GC, and I decided to pick it up. And it's a bridge pickup. Technically, it's a bridge pickup. They usually see them for bridge. Some people put them in the neck. But I get a really nice vintage 70s type tone to it, which is really awesome. And then this is a classic, it's a Seymour Duncan 59 pickup, American 59 pickup. And it's great. It's great. It does what Seymour Duncan does. Has that vintage type of bridge sound. But this is a good guitar in general. It's a really good guitar to mod. It was a pain in the ass wiring these pickups because some of this wood, it's just really sticky and it's hard to describe. Getting the wiring into the controls on the back was really a pain in the ass. I had to do a telephone thing where I put a wired coat hanger and taped the wires on it and telephoned it through to the electronics. But other than that, this is a killer guitar. The neck is really impressive too. It's a really comfortable neck. And this is, whether you're upgrading the pickups or not, the MS450 has a very, very comfortable neck. So I think you'll like it if you do end up getting it. Of course, I did swap out the tuners. I actually put PRS SE locking tuners on this, and they're very good. So if anyone's curious as far as how the locking tuners are for PRS SE, really good. Highly recommend it. I recommend anyone who gets a PRS that is an SE, if it's a standard, if it's a custom, really, if it's not a McCarty or anything that doesn't have the locking tuners on it already, replace those tuners, because that's the only issue with PRS for me, is that you can't keep the damn thing in tune if you don't have locking tuners. This is a new edition. So this is an Epiphone SL. These are really great mod machines. Mod starts, just because I love the form factor. The pick guard is really cool. The yellow ones popped out to me, and I was like, you know what? I think I want to upgrade this. I think I can make this work. It's really light, and I got a really nice tone to it. So the mods I did, I took the pickups out. Obviously, pickups on it or they're shit. They're really bad. This is a what's this one? It's a Seymour Duncan. I want to say it's a little. I want to say little puncher. It's like a 15. It's a little 59, something like that, humbucker. But it sounds pretty good. This was a bridge one, unfortunately. I wanted to find a neck one. I couldn't find it. I thought it was a neck one when I bought it. It turned to be a bridge. I was like, fuck. But this does sound good in the neck position. And then it's just traditional, old school Seymour Duncan hot rails for the bridge. And these blend really well, incredibly well. So I was really happy with that. For this switch, I had to flip around the switches here. So when you buy the guitar, I want to say the volume is actually here, tones here, and the switch is here, or the volume or the input jack is here, and the volume and tone are here. I don't remember entirely, but I had to move this up because I was running out of wire for this pickup or something like that. I'm trying to remember, but it made sense when I made the decision. So now I have it swapped where this is here, volume, tone, and then the jack, I put it right here instead. So I'm pretty sure that's not where the jack originally was. But after doing that, wiring everything through, very clear sound. I also swapped out the original bridge for the Tone Pro for better intonation, because there were some weird spots in the part of the guitar. Now, the thing about this guy is that the bass mounts, these are the stock bass mounts for the Epiphone that came with bass mounts, but I didn't feel like doing additional drilling and trying to super glue them down. It just kind of felt like it would be a big fucking issue. So I just took the bracket, wrapped it around it, and then just adjusted the intonation from there. It does lean forward. It locks in place, but it does lean forward just because, it's not the original. These guys, not the original, but it actually, believe it or not, call me crazy, it actually stays in tune. I'll talk about the tuners in a second. Stays in tune, but then also it intonates. It's well intonated. It's clear. So I might bring this guy out soon for a live session or something. And then last but not least, the tuners here I swapped out. Tulip tuners. The Gibson Deluxe tulip tuners. Now, you do have to drill these holes to make them bigger where they fit the the ratio, the 10 millimeter, the 10 millimeter holes, because these have these vintage holes. When you buy like an Epiphone like this, like the SGs even, they have these little ferrules in there, and I want to say it's for like 9 millimeter or something like that. So you have to use a drill. Be very careful, certain drill bit, and make it where you can fit these, because originally these didn't fit because the holes were too small. So luckily, that project, I was very nervous about that, but luckily that was successful. And it's a little rock machine, and it's a very clear tone as well. Second to last in this video, this one is the Stag that I got, and I talked about in a previous video. But I made this one just a super rock / blues machine. So there are the hip shot tuners, as I discussed, on the guitar. Really nice neck, comfortable neck, a little thicker than accustomed. Or a little thick, not super thick, but it's a comfortable neck. I don't know if it's actually roasted maple. I'm just gonna say it is. It might just have the color of roasted maple. I have a feeling that a lot of these cheaper guitars, they say they have roasted maple. They really just don't. They probably just have some type of a stain on them. But I digress. Anyway, for the pickups, this was a hot rail pickup that I got when I purchased some additional pickups from Reverb.com. This guy just kind of threw this in there for free, and he was like, "Yeah, this sounds pretty good." So I checked it out, and it definitely does. I put it in the neck, and it sounds clear, really powerful output. Hot rail I have in the middle, and then this is actually a DiMarzio PAF 36th anniversary pickup, British pickup. Really nice, really warm. Um, Highly recommend that, definitely. And the electronics are all the same. I didn't swap out any pots or anything like that. I just don't think it was really necessary to do so. If anything, maybe the switch, but I didn't feel like dealing with it. But this is a nice guitar. The only issue with it is that it's a little heavy, I think. It's a little heavy. It might just be my old age. But this is a nice sounding guitar. Last but not least, for this video, I might have shown this one before, but this body is from an Xavier custom guitar. I just love the semi-hollow Strat body design. Um, I've had this guitar for a little bit. I've used it gigging before, but I swapped out a lot of things since then. So the recent stuff I recently got an Ibanez, or not too long ago, AZS 31, but I don't know. I decided just to try it on some different things, neck swaps and whatnot. So these are the stainless steel saddles from that guitar. So I took the old saddles out of this and put the stainless steel ones on. This is Switchcraft wiring. So the old wiring from the body of the guitar was swapped out a while ago. So the Switchcraft wiring is good. It gives the pickups a much brighter tone, in my opinion, but they're solid electronics. So anyone who's curious to upgrade their guitar to Switchcraft wiring, I would say do it. It's good. And then the pickups, ESP design pickups. So these are like from like the M10, M55, that kind of series in general. That is these pickups, and I kind of like them. They have a snap to them. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Gibson, what is it, the 460 or 450 series. Pardon me if I don't know the exact series, but you know what I'm talking about. With like kind of like the standard SG pickups, kind of remind me of that. Um, Definitely, they blend really well too, which is nice. You know, the neck it's snappy. You know, this one definitely bright, but then they just blend really well with the distortion. So it's not just like a bright fest. And then I actually took the neck from the guitar as well and put it on here. I just thought a thinner form factor would be nice. This is a really nice neck. This is really where the money is for the AZS 31. It has a C shape. And then I guess this is a Jatoba fretboard. And it's very comfortable. It's a nice sound. You know, it's like a mid sound as far as like between dark and super bright. I would say it's a little more in the middle, but very comfortable neck. So so the only issue with me putting it on this is that for the Ibanez, you know, it has the curved edge. This one does not, but it's still comfortable playing, believe it or not. Call me crazy. It's got the graphite nut, I believe it is. And then the only issue with this guy is the tuners. I took the old tuners off. So these are some tuners from some other guitar just to wire it in general because I was trying to just get the damn thing intonated before putting the tuners on. I still have to get it intonated. It's almost there, but I'm getting some buzzing from the A and the E, I believe. So I might have to, I might give it another try to take it in. But once I get this guy intonated, it'll be a nice guitar, and throw some locking tuners on there. But anyway, yeah, that is kind of my update for some of my guitars here. Appreciate you guys watching this. If you have questions on any of these guitars, let me know. Yeah, and I'll catch you guys next video.